Now to the war between Israel and Hamas. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has agreed to send delegations to Doha, that's the capital of the nation of Qatar, and Cairo, quote, in the coming days for new talks aimed at securing the release of Israeli hostages, part of a Gaza ceasefire deal with Hamas that is still out of reach. This comes as a top court at the United Nations says Israel must open land crossings to allow humanitarian aid to get into Gaza. Right now, more than 1 million Palestinians are at risk of what the United Nations warns could be the worst famine the world has seen since the Second World War. Meanwhile, the Israeli Defense Forces are claiming to have killed a top Hamas operative at Al-Shifa Hospital in northern Gaza. This is on top of the more than 200 Hamas fighters Israel claims to have killed since the raid on the hospital complex began earlier this week. Our foreign correspondent, Britt Clennett, joins us now, live from Tel Aviv. So, Britt, let's start with Netanyahu approving a new ceasefire talk. They seem to go nowhere. What's your sense of this round?
Yeah, so Terry, the families of IDF soldiers being held hostage by Hamas in Gaza, they appeared a little dissatisfied, disappointed on Thursday following a direct meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It was the first time he'd met with them since October 7th. Previously, the Prime Minister had met with the families of all hostages or the families of female hostages that are soldiers. But this was the first time the Prime Minister met with relatives of male soldiers held captive. Now, most aren't actually expected to be released in the first phase of a future deal. But among those who attended the meeting were parents of 2 Israeli-American soldiers held hostage. They are Eden Alexander and Omar Nutra. And according to local press, one family member who was part of that meeting with Netanyahu complained that he didn't offer anything new to the families. So momentum does kind of appear to have taken a back seat, despite Netanyahu announcing that he's met with intelligence authorities and he's going to send a delegation to Doha and Cairo in the coming days with the potential to further negotiations, Terry.
So, Britt, thanks for that. Let's turn to the Al-Shifa Hospital. The IDF is claiming to have killed a top Hamas operative and other fighters. Didn't they raid that place months ago? What's happening in this war? I actually do wonder what the goal of the Israeli Defense Forces are and if they're anywhere near accomplishing it, if they're going back to places they've already turned into rubble, basically, and finding lots more Hamas fighters.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. This is round 2 in Al-Shifa. They've already said that they were able to dismantle Hamas's command center in northern Gaza, and now they're back. So plenty of questions about how much impact they're having there. The fighting is continuing in Al-Shifa. That's Gaza's main hospital. It's now in the 12th day of this round 2 operation by the IDF around the hospital complex. The Institute for the Study of War says Hamas militants have been able to carry out nearly 70 attacks in the last few days, targeting Israeli forces in and around the hospital since Israeli forces returned to that area on March 18th. So, as you say, plenty of questions about how much of an impact they're able to make there and clear the area.
Well, because they're certainly having an impact on Gaza itself. It's rubble, famine looms, and yet it seems like they have a lot of war objectives left. Britt Clennett, as always, thank you for being there for us. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.